everyone. Welcome to Angel Answers, where my mom, Angela, and I share information about what we have experienced and stories and situations that have really shaped our lives and given us the tools that we need to live a successful life. And we think it's super, super important to get to know you all and have you all get to know us better. And so for this, our premiere podcast, which we will be doing regularly, we've committed to it. This is our inaugural one. But first things first, we thought it'd be best to get to know the founder and baker extraordinaire, my mom.
Hi, everyone. We are really excited about sharing more of who we are. We have been providing cakes through you for so many years, and we thought that this would be a good idea that you get to know the heart of who we are and why we do what we do.
Yes. So the company, the Black Cake Company, is a company that specializes in traditional Caribbean rum cake and black cake. And black cake, of course, as you know, is also called a myriad of things, including fruit cake. But we certainly are not American fruit cake, so yes. We make that distinction. But it is the cake that you all would know. And typically we have it at Christmas and weddings and christenings and for years, my mother has essentially perfected this recipe and brought it to the marketplace. So, I think the first question that I have is, how did you start baking?
Oh, I started with my mom in her kitchen, just watching her. I think I just picked up baking through osmosis. I realized I totally enjoyed it. And especially when my friends always wanted me to bake and provide them with cakes. Mm-hmm. I just kept baking all the time. And so I decided that I wanted to start to measure everything to see whether I could perfect this process. Mm-hmm. And so back in 1987, when I thought I wanted to get into business, I replicated what I had learned. And then I improved on the process.
Okay, so when did you start your company?
Oh, back in 1987. I was working with my husband in his data processing consulting firm, your dad, and becoming quite frustrated and thought, oh my goodness, I really need to know why I'm put on this earth. And so for 3 straight nights, I went to bed asking God what I ought to do with my life. And for 3 straight mornings, I woke up and I heard cakes. So I thought this was rather interesting. And that started me on this road of baking and shipping and selling cakes.
Well, it wasn't really typical for women to have companies at that time. So was there any one in particular that inspired you to start a company, or, was it your customers that wanted the cakes, or what made you decide, to formalize it? Or
yeah, well, at that time I was still shipping cakes to my cousin who was not living close by, and I was still getting requests from my friends. But one day I was watching Johnny Carson, and there was this fruit cake that they brought a crane to smash because it was so hard. I thought, oh my goodness, this is not my experience of a fruit cake. And so after hearing from God, I thought, this could be the business that I started to pursue. And so in the 1980s, women were just getting into business for themselves. And I decided I would put an ad in Working Woman's magazine in the classified ads. We got 0 orders on my ad, but I was not daunted. I just, pursued it.
Yes. And I remember growing up, obviously watching you bake and going to the Black Expos with you. And,
Yes.
That's, I guess, how you started to build your client base. Could you share a bit more about kind of how you started to grow and what you did those initial years to expose more people to the cakes?
Yeah, I mean, the Black Expos were really timely. They started in the 1990s. I think it actually started in 1990 and ran for about 5 to 7 years. And so we went to different cities. We were able to give people samples of the cake because a lot of people had never experienced the Caribbean black cake. And it was.
I remember cutting up samples in the back.
Tons and tons of samples.
Like thousands.
So we would go to places like Houston, and we went to Los Angeles, and we were doing in New York, of course, because we were here. And we went to Maryland. And this was a great opportunity because we met lots of people. We were able then to initiate the building of our mailing list.
Right.
And so since mail order was a vision.
Yeah, this is before internet, everyone. This is
right. This was before internet.
Direct mail marketing.
Yeah. And so then in turn, we would take those lists and we would create mass mailings, do volume catalog shipping and bulk mailing, as it was called, renting lists from like Black Enterprise and those kinds of places. And so we just built slowly, but we just continued to build.
So, I mean, certainly everyone watching, or perhaps not everyone, but our URL, our website is blackcake.com. And we also have rumcake.com. And people often ask and are surprised that we have it. And so do you want to share how we even knew to do that when we did that? What year was that?
So that was in 1996. My husband, Bruce, your dad, of course, who passed away in 2011, unfortunately, he had a tremendous amount of foresight. And so at the inception, because he had a data processing consulting firm, he was able to register all of these names. I am so grateful to him for it. And so then we got, rumcake.com and blackcake.com because he himself was in the consulting business and working with consultants. So they knew exactly what to do. Right. This is how we even started to build the prototype for our order forms and start to get our mailing list together for distribution. So it was really great. I'm really, truly grateful to him for his foresight in getting those names for us, Yeah.
Yeah. So over the past 35 years, and that's how long you've been with the Black Cake Company. It started as Caribbean Cake Connoisseurs. That was the name when we first started before my mom changed it. What keeps you passionate about baking and about building the company?
Oh, yeah. It's so much about just plugging into finding my purpose and finding my sweet spot and getting into the flow of things. And I just find staying centered, I do things like meditate and I pray, of course, but these things kind of keep me going and I get creative ideas. And I just find that when you find your purpose, when you have decided that this is what you ought to do with your life, then you get the strength, you get the downloads from God, I say, you get the ideas. And so people come into your life at the right time to help you just keep pressing forward. And so this is how I have been able to maintain up to now.
I know that people would often say once they find out that, my family and my mom, we have this business, they'd be like, I didn't know that you all made Black Cake. And so many times people would call or email and note, we're so glad we found you. We did a Google search, didn't know you exist. And so I joined the Black Cake Company full time because this should not be so. People should know far and wide around the world about the cake. And once people taste the cake, they love it, and we have customers for life. And we're so grateful for all of you. My mom, their names that are literally family names that we know from over the years, 20, 30 years of customers who have supported us. And so we look forward to sharing and giving in, ways that frankly transcend the cake, right? We know how important it is to have connections with people, and we certainly want to avail ourselves to have that connection, because as I shared, there's so many of you that are household names. And so really, really excited to be on this journey with my mom. I know from her example that when you are passionate about something that comes, naturally to you, that you enjoy doing, that intersection is really when you can learn what you're put on this earth to do, what your purpose is. And frankly, speaking to people is part of my purpose. So this is the intersection of those two things for me. As I share information about really the best black cake and the best rum cake in the world. So my job is to share that and speak about that far and wide, and I am up for it, and looking forward to it, looking forward to speaking about things that have helped us through the years to live successful lives. And I think it would be good for you to share a little bit about, kind of your early history, even apart from the cake, and challenges that you have encountered as you have built your company.
Well, I am originally from Barbados, and I came here in 1972, going to college right after I got married and had my children. I sort of did the reverse. My son, Jamal, my firstborn, has actually Down syndrome, and lived at home with us for 32 years. And so he taught me a lot, I guess, about facing life and dealing with it as it came, not shying away, challenging as it is. He's now 47. And so I remember often, even when he was in hospital having surgery, I am there with my psychology books studying, so that I could get my work done on time. But these are some of the things that I was able to overcome. And I realized that life often would give you challenges, and you either succumb to them or you decide, you know what, I can deal with this, and you keep pressing forward. So that was a really big challenge for me. And I'm happy to say that Jamal is well, and living in New Jersey in a group home. I am really, really grateful to you also for being the kind of sister that really helped me move through Jamal's life, because you came right after. I remember 15 months after, my mom thought I was not working properly to do this. She got very angry with me, but I thought it was the best thing I could do. And so here you were, a flower. And because you were so fast in reaching your milestones, it just helped me deal with Jamal and became more life experience.
I mean, at the end of the day, what I've learned in the years on the earth is that, everyone has something to contribute. And being in a family with a brother who has Down syndrome and a mother who's so dedicated to really being present with us and helping us grow, I learned that everyone's an individual. There are no two people that are alike, and it's never really about doing what other people are doing. It's really about finding the thing that makes you most unique. And obviously, Jamal is unique in many ways, but everyone has something to contribute, and with our various abilities. And so sometimes they're easily identified by markers that we say Down syndrome. But sometimes it could be, the way that you learn, it could be you're more auditory. You don't really like to sit down so much. There's so many different things.
Yes.
I have 3 sons, and so they're all very, very different. And, at the end of the day, you look at the life experiences that are there to even teach you, how to embrace difference, and how to embrace challenge. And so we're really, really looking forward to, continuing conversations.
Building relationships.
Yeah.
Over the years, it has been a tremendous joy. As I talk to customers, I just like to be engaged, find out things that they have an interest in and how life is going for them. Mm-hmm. Because I often say we're selling more than just cakes.
Yeah.
You know, and we really care about people, and we really want people to really not just strive but thrive in the marketplace, in life. And so at this juncture where we are experiencing a pandemic, I think it's really critical for us to get some tools in how we handle life.
Yeah.
And how we can pursue our purpose and passions.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to Angel Answers, and we are looking forward to the next time.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.